Hi, welcome back to Mission Administrator Sylvester. This is our live broadcast taking the second episode and section of a very intriguing spirit and supernaturally a great content we will have to broadcast. I wish you to stay and hang around until we get to the very end of this broadcast. It's very interesting to know what it means to say star. So a star is this I want to introduce to you as almost every life of a person or every creature that liveth in the most microbic or any organic momentum flesh or having life in such things, you actually need to understand what it means to say star because there's somebody very important in that word star. But the word star wasn't just the name star, as you need to understand what it meant to say a star. Originally, here on the channel, you're going to look at what freshness of the word star is. That you cannot corrupt it to what somebody understands. Here, you can see myself back as a life in Agra. This is a very supernatural location. I've always told you, Umbrella Junction. Here is Century Road. You know, Century is so very important to the main broadcast. This content, I salute you. So get through as it concerns every single life on earth or every single organism on this very living, or you want to say, if you are an atomic stranger, then we'll tell you that the best is yet to come. Just stay tuned and love my great broadcast. Thank you. Very well, the main content starts right here as we have a very serious lesson to be learned here. Now, watch carefully. If you're the one observing, you don't have to have somebody under age or age wise talking about what I'm trying to say. You know, you're going to look at it from the Bible's perspective and then Enoch's book and the reality of what even the word star is given or where they derive the word as star. So, here on the channel, watch carefully and focus here. He said, what? Asteria, Astraea, Astraea. So Astrea. So that this word, I can sound it in Australia. This word, I can sound it right there. So that you would look at the word Australia or Australia in this connection to what we are trying to say. However, you knowing Australia as a country doesn't mean anybody have any idea if I didn't say it right here, how it sounds and why they got a name like that. So be focused right here on the content. He said what the name is what? Astrea or Astraea or Astrea. Very important. And then another word for another god or star for this is what? Astreus or Astreus. Astreus. Now, these are very supernaturally important to deal with. Now, what even led to this? A whole thing, my key, I can show you. Very interesting. You can find this on Mission Administrator Sylvester, broadcasting live on YouTube, and then on Facebook is Spirit Holy Virgins Heavens. You know, whatever we have as a name, go straight to what we are saying. It's very important and play a role in the livelihood of a person here right now. Now look at it well. So this word Astrea is in this form the goddess of justice and innocence. The goddess of justice and innocence. Now, what do we mean to say Astra? It means Astra should be a female rendering figure connected to every other creature. That's why you understand the creation point of view that is a male and female. That if you were born to have a star, truly, the name of a star is actually a female version. It's mostly female version. I can remember that I told you, or be reminded that I told you that every single star represents one angel. So if you didn't come with your angel, how do you know what you are doing and how you are led to do things? So I can tell you in this bar right there, in this bar, you can see St.AR, St.AR. Here you have the word, and you can call now the word star. So let's delve into what it says star. I will be asking, what is a star in reality? So let's delve in now. Now take a look. Very importantly, you should look at what it says is star. Or you have the word, original word, Astrea. Now here it is. On live internet, we are taking the broadcast. Take a look. Take a look. It's a very critical look. Here you're going to find out how the word was given to S-T-A-R, and you sound it as star. That is Saint-R. So here it is. Now it said the mythological root of the word star, which is S-T-A-R, in that very quote, as in silver star, as I call it, silver star or Sylvester or the sly, right there will show you what we say, and the star, right there. So it's a name that bears with a star, as it is the saint of it. Holy, that is angel to descend. So if you didn't ask for this greatest or the spirit journey, you will not know what it says, astral world. All right, let's get on. That's why we're talking about a plane, and you don't know what a plane is. Now get it here, right here straight. He says that star can be traced back to the Proto-Indo-European. That's why they told you I have all these things connected to my single birth. Ruth, having the star base H, star. Watch out carefully. That is having a star H, 2 at the base, then STE on bar at the top, and another thing shooting up, and R. What does it mean? Meaning star. This family that you see is the name star. This you have to have as a star. Now, look at what they're saying star. Now, listen. He said, this root is further broken down to what? Star, H base 2, E, H base 1, S. You see that it represents the same name again, S, minus. That means in bracket, this is to burn. That is Sunday birth. All this would have to have angel form. So these are the things that really make up an angel. And now you watch out again, then the charge is right there, the charge right there. Then it's a plus, minus, star, minus star. So plus what? Minus star. So like you want to see it like, just look at it. All these minus signs right there, you know that the S also comes with what? Minus this. And then plus what? Minus star. And in the bracket, this one is what? This particular is what? Agent thief or agent thief service. Agent thief service. So you get it. Now, what does it mean? They're suggesting an association with burning or glowing. So these are the ones who came and then we tell you, you don't know what they are saying is glory. The word glory is glowing. That something that is lighting or emitting charges of light or reflecting is what we say is glowing. So when the shining ones come, this with their name is originally given. Now take a look at it in Greek understanding. Now in Greek mythology, this connection is evident in the name Astrea. So that's why it is sound and having it from Egyptian. You will take a look at it also later. But in this very Greek, you know, once you talk about Egypt and Greek, there's a connection. Almost every learning, they have a source in connection. But physically, in Greek mythology, this is what? Connection or a connection that is evident in the name Astrea. Very derived from what? The Greek word right here, as the sound is. I don't want to mention it. But in the bracket, they are telling Aster. Aster. This is what they are saying is a sound. Aster or Aster. Then look at it, meaning what? Star. Meaning what? Star. Which is the word St.AR. St.AR. The same word is St.AR. Work like this. You need an just watch carefully. And here, watch carefully what I'm saying, because there's a deeper side we're going to delve in now. Now watch carefully. So if you're not all protected, you have to get protected. Like you need something what on your side and begin to meditate on the word. What is it in this, that beautiful word given you by the Holy One, Virgin? My own name telling you who I am. And it says, well, and ultimately linked to the goddess of justice and innocence. And yes, few hours ago, I told you myself and my princesses, we don't forgive sinners. That is being born heavenly angel or anything that has to do with star. It means if it manifests really as the Lord answers you, then it's justice and innocence. It means justice goes with what? Innocence. Justice means I just have to do what I have to do right now and then tell you out of innocence I am doing it. That you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do certain things. Now watch carefully here. He said, here is a more detailed breakdown. Now look at it. The Proto-Indo-European as the H-base 2 star. Here it is. This is the ancestral root from which many Indo-European words for stars are derived. So you see that my name could not just be a name if you are not that somebody spiritually or giving us an angel. You can't do this. That's why it won't be just a name for you to think it's a name that you want to flourish around. No, it comes with something. Now what's the name? What's the name here? Here is it, including English star and then Latin stellar. And what? And Sanskrit terror. Sanskrit terror. So very well, thank you. Here is the word. Now let's take a moment for another word. You know, this you cannot throw away because it really means so much to you. This is what you need as daily teaching or guidance. Now watch carefully. So in Greek aster, the Greek word for star directly corresponds to the Proto-Indo-European root. Now highlighting the shared linguistic and cultural connection. Now even in the word culture, you have cult. You know that we have cult in that thing you don't know. The word cult is right there before you get a ural. So the two words put together, then they say cultural. So when you are beginning to say culture, culture, and those things, and you don't know what you mean, I tell you, when we separate it well for the truth, you know what it means cult in it. That is searching, learning, and whatever it is the Lord is giving. Without learning, you don't know the meaning of what I'm even saying is cultural. That's why I don't like to say things culture and tradition and whatever. Tradition is trade. Culture is what you are hearing also again. So you cannot just say you delve into somebody's language and just begin to say anything anyhow. If you are the truth, the spirit will tell you what you say and what you don't say. Now, before you even say, they say, observe or watch your words. Speak that you may what? Select your words wisely. Speech comes with selection of words wisely. Not that it is in the book and you just pour out words and it makes it something. Now watch carefully. As you cannot say, it is without what we mean. Now look at the word Astrea or Astrea. These goddesses are associated with justice and innocence, has a name that directly stems from the Greek word for star, that is reinforcing the celestial symbolism. Now again, stars emit energies as they receive from a source. They also become a source to another thing. However, they have life and contain many other things. That's why you see stars glow. They glow. As you see one of them as the fire or sun or St.AR or the greatest fury of fire or furnace of fire. Also what? Showing the light. Now watch carefully the burning connection. It says that the etymology or etymology of the Proto-Indo-European root with its links to burn, with link to what? To burn, suggests an early understanding of stars as luminous and fiery objects, even though their apparent heat from Earth is not easily discernible. So Asterios or Asterios, the other one, the Asteres, another figure in Greek mythology. Asterios, the Titan or the Titan god of the evening wind. And from yesterday, a few hours ago, we've been talking about a wind. That unless I go to a certain source before we can see it open, I will be trying to make things different. And you see that it connects with what? The wind. So that if I'm living without it, it's like I'm not complete. However, once there's life and other conditions that make life easy, then we are able to live. Yes, that's why we have to say you honor or you give glory, authority as it is given you. So it's what? The Titan or the Titan. God, or the Titan soul, or the supreme Titan of the evening wind, also has what? Has a name derived from the root, the same star H base 2 star, further solidifying the association between stars and the celestial realm. Isn't this a supernatural understanding? But we talk of it, and you can have a corrupt human talk about this thing without putting life in it. Now take a look, one word again. Now we're going to look at this very word. That similarly, in the ancient Greek, the word star is called, or the word star is what? Aster. Aster, which means light. Which means light. Clearly on the screen, this is how we put a conversation. Or glittering, or glittering. The word star has been what? A part of human imagination and mythology since ancient times. Now, when it's a myth, it's because we are not seeing the reality. However, there are some people connected to it. Yet, this time around is the reality. To know it, that a flesh that liveth unto it, tell you what it is. Very well, if it's not about myself, how do you think I'll learn about it? People talk about it, but you never say things like this. It also doing this. So it has been what used to represent different things such as hope. Then you want to say hope. Hope for what? Guidance, inspiration. Then they call it the divinity. What we say, you want to say divinity. And what? Fortune. It is such things, if you don't do it right, they will tell you are doing opposite the meaning. However, the connection of what they are trying to say is here. Check and take a look right now. Take a look. In the Bible, or you want to look at what it is. All this I'm taking a live from the internet. So the Bible presents stars as created by the God or the ruler for specific purposes, including marking time, giving light, and what? Serving as signs. What is signs? Signages. When you come out now, you see the cloud that is formed is so intelligent. Very different in reality. Now, they are also used to what? Illustrate the God's power and glowing strength. And in some what? In some instances, I say, are associated with spiritual or the spiritual matter or the reminal matters. Now there's also a more detailed look at the Bibles or the Bibles perspective on what stars. What does it mean? That creation and purpose. Here you're going to have it. Now creation and purpose. Is that in Genesis or Ganesha? I would just say anything that goes with what I'm saying. You get it and later you know it. So Genesis or the Jenny stars. The Jenny stars. You see that all these names have been corrupted to what? Something else in your genital, which didn't have any direct meaning to this than when they corrupted it. When you say genitals, you see that it's never going to be genitals. However, talking about stars in the universe, how they cannot reduce wealth in a human being. So the Genesis, or the Genesis, or the one that is angel of the journey, is this. The one that journey with what? Six, or the sister of that person. That is says, chapter 1, verse 14 to 18 says, that states that the geodes created lights in the what? In the vaults of the skies as stars to what? To separate day from light, to separate day from what? From night. Serve as signs for seasons. Even though it's not for season as they say, because that's another thing they are trying to tell you. So when it comes to the Bible, things will be changed. However, having the authority and honesty of what I'm saying, here it is, that in years, that if I talk of my position and what is my given authority, that's what you want to say in this. And what? And give light on what? The earth. Now in Psalm 147, verse 4 says that the God or the sword or the whatever we say determines the number of the stars and gives to what them of what their meanings or names. Now emphasizing or emphatically the geod's comprehensive knowledge and control over this is deep, unless you are given. Having such a journey, I don't think we need someone to deceive what we're saying. Now, what is the Enoch's take on how this thing is when you are in relation to what the stars or the astral? Now, look at it in this word. He said, in the book of Enoch, stars are depicted as having a divine or a divine purpose and order, and some are what described as having transgressed. So that is where you know that some angels that I told you every star is represented by one angel who rule over it. As one of the earth, you want to say there's a great ruler on earth. That's what it is. Earth is also one of the hanging things like that. That's how they are in reality. That having a purpose, or what purpose? For divine purpose. Now you want to look at the word divine or divine. Huh? When you have the vineyard and the D and all of that. Purpose and order. Here is it, and some are what described as what? Having transgressed. It means that when you transgress, you are the fallen one. You are the one who break apart from the rule of the Lord. The Lord's command. Here we got it. And so very well, it's also loud and very clear here that the book also mentions a prison for transgressing stars and what? And a concept of what? 7 stars. Who are the 7 stars? These are the ones who have always worked and serve a purpose, keeping the times and change and the cosmos, whatever. It's that each in its own heaven or he heavens. Every one of them having their territory and or terrain, how they operate, which might also refer to what we are saying. Yeah, there are a cluster of them, what they are made up of. Additionally, Enoch's vision includes and what understanding of the SU and the Senate or the Suns, the Senate, and the stars bringing in years exactly, or in years exactly, with the stars having what prescribed causes and activities. In continuity of this, he says there are some more details that you will look at what the book of Enoch says about the stars. Now, in divine order, in the divine order and purpose, the book of Enoch emphasizes the organized and purposeful nature of what the stars and what their influences on the natural world. It mentions that the sun or the suns and stars bring in all, or that which I say AII or the A11, the excellent one of the 11th house, where this also represents the same pillars right there, or the great or the gate through which you walk. That on your side, there's one that is excellent, that years exactly and complete them with what? Their prime, which is the excellent way of what? Justice, perfect justice. It's not just justice, but they qualify it again with another adjective, perfect justice. It's not just justice, however, this time, perfect justice. What you mean in understanding what it says perfect justice. Now watch here carefully. Now look at something. That transgression and punishment. Here what you watch it carefully, that the text describes certain stars as having transgressed the command of the Lord and being what punished, as X being bound in a prison for what? 10,000 years. Now you look at what definition is given to how many years they were punished. And I told you right now, 10,000 years. You don't know it. And already here. When you are given 1,000, you're already in 10,000. That's what it is. Times 10, that is your 1/10. When they receive it in heaven with 1,000 years, he is shared in Revelation. The one who ruled for 1,000 years in deceiving the world. And another one who ruled for 1,000 years, also in what? Ensuring that what? The right thing is done. This is how the whole judgment comes. And that's why right after the 1,000 years and the other 1,000 years that they gave from the Christ ascension, whatever, the GX ascension, then you got right there 2,000 years, and it's beyond and over. And now we are in 25 years. Count it. At least you know when you were born. You are able to, or you are able to keep your own date and time properly. So how you want to say that we've not made it? So in a reference is 7 stars. So to say 7, if you're born on Sunday or any of the special day marked by the Lord, specifically for his purpose, 7, to serve, to serve, to serve. So that when it comes with 7 stars, it is the 7 stars or the 7 angels operating at the same time. And each with a designated route in what its own heavens. We told you heaven means a place of birth or Bethel. Anytime, anywhere it has been produced or birthed. That's what they refer to as that. Now he said what? Which may be what? Interpreted as referring to what? Whatever you are in your word this time around. Now to define or to make the notice or the plan, ETS. So the plan ETS is another word, plan ETS. That is when it fits in the plans of the Lord. He will stand left and right and the middle tree. All of that. It means the errand and then the shining errand. The life force. Now let's take a look at the spiritual forces. Now, while condemning horoscope, in some aspect they want to say, but the word horoscope itself is another word to define another force of the Lord. Now they say what? The book of Enoch acknowledges the power of the stars. Then what does it mean? In connection to the star, and that even in the Bible it says that for the Lord ordained the stars of the universe. So unless understanding comes with the supernatural spirit and manifestation, nobody can tell you the best and what is best. So here again to say, and the spiritual forces behind them. Now take a look. Now visions and revelations. Now the book of Enoch includes descriptions of stars as part of what? Enoch's vision of celestial realms. And what? And the consequences of what? The signs or the singing or the SIN. All these were in the signs, sine theta, tan theta, all of this. They are the code written in this. As you scroll, you think you are different from the original word and how they got it. These are the secrets that is in the plain text you read. I don't know it. Now, influence on earth. Here it is. He said, Enoch also suggests that the stars influence the natural world. That is in the world, in the realms of the physical. I'm in the physical. And in the realms of the celestial, in the realms of the dream, in the realms of the vision, I am the physical. Because that's why we build, that's why we say, and we live forever in what? Giving us a providing solution, or just getting the seed that the Lord needs to fulfill his vision and dreams. That is it. So to fulfill any single prophecy of the past, it means you are the one who brought the Lord the seed and the fruit. Or he gave you a seed and you planted it, or you sowed it and watered it and it became living. No more in the realms, but now became living in the light of the day. How you see this, that goes with specific stars. So you see, not every star, they have differences and various aspects, but that he specifically lay emphasis on some of the what? Illuminatis or the illuminating bodies. That is the luminaries. So all these words were the things they were referring to as luminaries. Luminatic things, luminatics and luminatics. These are the things connected to stars and universe. So that when you're doing it in opposite, I'm telling you, I came from the original source and then here it is. You don't have to become a member to something in corruption first before you understand what you should have done on the path guided in this or through their books or the archives. Here we are, and that is Uriah and Uriah and power of Kyria and all of that. Thank you for the great support on the channel. Haven't made it. Now look at where they say something. You are going to be surprised according to a word here. And then, you know, where we say something Q go with quadrant. There are 4 quarters of the universe or the planet or the earth or the star that we live it on. This particular star have a very different what? Characters or physical properties and spiritual properties, which we have made so many things. We built all that is on this earth, mostly from this very hot physical world. But many others, we came for support as alienatic or alienation, have other things that made it possible on this earth. Without them, it is impossible to also say it's complete yet. And even as you don't have the spirit, how can you be complete? So the spirit is your guide and your angel, and the person is also flesh, also at the same time leading you. So that it goes on to say that with specific stars potentially having appointed roles. So appointed role and what times of appearance. So it means they only appear on specific reason and purpose. And having a specific time they may appear and then go back. According to even the what? The QUR, and that is a formula. And ENIC. That's what you want to say, yeah, right there. Oneness. Thank you very much. You've done so well. You really did well. You did so well. Now, what do you mean you did well? How you can see yourself on the channel of the star and the Astrea, so that where they may have a different name, without that name, look, for you having no knowledge of what you are mentioning, will be anything destroying you. So much, I'm telling you. What you should have said is indeed, the Lord is mighty. How he kept secret, that until you discover, you don't know anything. You may speak it, but it doesn't mean the Lord is in connection with you. You may have some kind of energies of him around you, but that doesn't mean you know the truth. So that we say St.AR or St.AR. Is it that the same star is center? Because every time a star is placed, a star is in the center of its origin. They are always center of their own kind. Whether you stand here and you watch them from afar, they are in the center of that part they are. Because they are what? They are the authority and where they spin and hang and illuminate. That is the center. So every one of them is almost in the center. Because they place in that part you are seeing. And you seeing it from the outermost part of the universe is in the center form. Where they are placed is a center. So that the same word Saint is R or Saint R is the same Saint R. And then the saint of Sadbiri. Very well, thank you. You've done so well making time with us, and I really want to say, if the Lord ever made it, why do you think it's impossible when it's already what we need? When I'm on the screen and the screen is showing us the life of the Lord, isn't this what we need? Thank you very much. Thank you so much.